Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Global YouTube Sangha. Delighted to be with you. Just want to give a shout out to many familiar names, friends on the chat, and warm greetings wherever you are in the world, afternoon, evening, day. This is also a sound check. So someone let me know if you can hear me and the sound is all right. Great, thank you. So I'm curious as we're warming up here. Um, those of you who are silent are very welcome to remain silent. And those of you who are chatting, I would love to hear what you noticed about wholeheartedness yesterday, about respect and wholeheartedness, full attention. Of course, you don't have to report in, but sometimes it's fun for everyone. This is the third talk in a series on Dharmic reciprocity, the gifts we give the Dharma and receive from our practice. And we're at 7 o'clock now. So I invite you to finish up your warm greetings when you're ready and to settle into a posture that expresses what is in your heart, what is in your mind in terms of caring for yourself in this practice today. Starting with a couple of deeper, slower breaths. Softening the eyes. Softening the tongue. And letting go, releasing, offering the out breath. Dedicating yourself to this time. On the in breath, inviting, receiving awareness. Allowing the attention to move to internal experience, your sense experience. Noticing sound, temperature, sensation. And any object of attention that you know works for you, any anchor is welcome. Hearing the field of sensations of the body, the flow of everything. And I'll be offering some brief instructions on breath and internal posture, the way we hold our minds and hearts in relationship to this practice. So allowing the breathing to be natural, normal, and tuning in with kind regard to the sensations of breathing, attending to the in-breath with care, complete attention, resting, releasing on the out-breath, all the way through the out-breath, and resting gently in the little still moment between the out-breath and the in-breath. Allowing each breath to be just as it is, noticing the movement of the diaphragm or the chest, the belly, in waves, perhaps, and attuning to all the sensations within each single breath, receiving, allowing awareness to brighten the fullest point of the in-breath, and letting go into resting in the out-breath. From time to time, checking your internal posture, the attitude towards this practice, this moment. Seeing how gracious, allowing, non interfering, it's possible to be with this moment. Attending with care. This too. Each time distraction is noticed, that is a moment of mindful awareness. To appreciate it, to include it, is part of the practice. It's never too late to begin again. In the last few minutes of this meditation, the invitation is to turn your attention towards the quality, the internal posture or stance of how you are in this moment about the meditation. What's the quality of the awareness, the attitude or mood in the heart? And whatever that is, to include that too with an attitude of care, respect, kindness. And then considering these moments of meditation through that lens of appreciative care. Any moments of peacefulness, calm, a finger snap of mindfulness, stretches of unbroken attention, everything, small or large. And drink it in, soak in the goodness of it. And then turning your attention outwards to the others, practicing in this moment together here or at other times even, and wishing them well. May they be safe, happy, healthy. May they be peaceful, at ease, and free. And extending these wishes outwards further towards everyone your life touches, directly and indirectly. May all beings be safe, peaceful, and free. Thank you for your practice. Well, welcome. Welcome, dear Sangha, especially those of you who tiptoed in a few minutes late into our virtual space. Today I'd like to offer some reflections. It's the third of a series of 5 on Dharmic reciprocity. What we offer, our practice, our lives, and the resonance, what we receive, which can be direct or indirect. And today, and as I've mentioned to many of you, those of you who've been here, this teaching is loosely based on a little obscure sutta discourse on the qualities of integrity in giving. And today I'll start by just saying what the Buddha said about this. He said, a person of integrity gives in such a way as not to harm themselves or others, even slightly. And implicit in the language, this is written in Pali, is a resonance in the non-harming term of kind and caring attitude. So in giving of ourselves, our time, material goods, this means self-care is key. Self-care. The Buddha describes a wise person of great wisdom as someone who does not wish for affliction, suffering, harm for themselves, or others, or the world, but rather a person of integrity, a wise person, offers, wishes for benefit of self, other, and both, as well as all concerned. So don't leave yourself out. Don't leave yourself out. From a Buddhist perspective, this means practitioners, that's us, we're encouraged to cultivate a baseline approach of non-harming that's based on care, not just for our common humanity, but our common sentience with all creatures. Each being's wish, no matter how buried or thwarted, is to live, to not be harmed. This wish weaves through nearly all sentient life most of the time. The impulse, the commitment to care and non-harming appears over and over again in the Buddhist teachings. Often, it's the first step of practice. And there's this little phrase that appears over and over again, setting aside rod and weapon. A practitioner dwells compassionate with care for the welfare of all living things, all living beings. Isn't that beautiful? That's often used at the very first step of engaging in serious meditation practice, when a person would go to become a follower of the Buddha. And so it's not so surprising that this emphasis on non-harming ripples through all different dimensions of Buddhist practice. It's core to the compass of Buddhist ethics to not kill, not steal, to not engage in sexual misconduct, lie, or intoxicate in ways that lead to heedlessness. Those are kind of the guardrails. Right? Non-harming can include preventing harm through giving. And this impulse is not limited to humans. I love this anecdote. So in a 2017 study, scientists finally looked into, documented, and confirmed anecdotal stories these marine biologists have been hearing for years. And the stories had been that ship after ship had noticed this mobbing behavior in humpback whales. And what happened was, humpbacks and other whales hear through they communicate through clicks and other sounds that transmit through the water. And they would hear another whale in distress, or even another mammal in distress from being attacked by killer whales, orcas. And they would come and encircle the threatened animal and protect it from being attacked. And they would beat off these orcas with their mighty fins. And the scientists even found scarring on these huge fins from protecting the innocent. This non-harming impulse can also take the form of practical care. I ordained for a time at a monastery in Yangon, Myanmar, Burma. And very early on, I was inspired to learn that the teacher there established the first free clinic in the city, quite a large city. The monastery donated the land, they donated the material goods, the medicines, and the doctors and nurses would come and volunteer and offer their time to the poorest of the poor, people who could not afford any other medical care. That same place donated land to Buddhist nuns running an orphanage. And all of this, it was kind of just unspoken, very humbly done, because it was natural. It was an outgrowth, this offering, out of a deep commitment to care, to kindness. And ripple effects through the local area, as you can imagine, were significant. And the people who lived in the monastery were loved, cared for by the community in turn. This reciprocity. In formal practice, non-harming, this internal attitude, the inner voice of kindness in the mind and heart is a huge gift to yourself and your practice. Again, the means echo the ends. The best we can do to bring an attitude of gentleness, care when encountering not so helpful internal habits some of us have learned. It's so common in our culture to internalize judgment, blame, self-criticism. So to notice those while not believing them. Just like I remember when one of my nieces was quite young, we were at some big holiday gathering. Everyone was gathered around the table eating. And she told this very, very queer story that she completely bought into in the moment of a cat driving across the Golden Gate Bridge in a convertible. And she had all of us just riveted because she was so clear about it and so convinced it had happened. But of course, didn't believe it. This was confabulation, story. But we could still love the storyteller. And even when the stories aren't so nice, they're developed through familial conditioning, societal conditioning, noticing and kindly disengaging with a non-harming attitude from any inner harshness, stories, even a pushy approach to mindfulness begins to reconfigure unhelpful mental patterning. Non-harming includes no longer feeding, no longer fueling unhelpful habits, no longer getting behind them. From a Buddhist perspective, this friendly, positive regard towards inner experience is ideal, can increase together with wholeheartedness, with a caring attention, respect, deep listening to oneself. All of that can transmute into gratitude, joy, wonder. Another way of inviting these beautiful qualities, the gratitude, joy, wonder, even concentration, is to reflect on your own past acts of care and kindness or restraint, not doing harm. This can create such joy and resonance in the practice. And if regrets arrive instead, it's an invitation to clean up your own act. A commitment to cleaning up one's own act can actually really help in meditation itself. It's a helpful act of generosity for your own practice. Formal practice of meditation, not mindfulness, metta, loving kindness meditation is also really helpful. There's many, many resources on audio Dharma and here on this homepage, YouTube channel for that. Also at sati.org, I have a half day on it. Kevin Griffin has resources on practicing loving kindness in difficult times. And just as non-harming is fundamental to the Buddhist path, this kindness, care towards self and others along the way is also a traditional way to reduce anxiety and fear, increase confidence, courage, concentration. And all of this has a reciprocal effect on ourselves and others. There are, in addition to millennia of Buddhist teachings about this, anecdotal kinds of teachings, there's recent decades of scientific literature, randomized control trial studies about this. So today, to consider the resonance, the reciprocity of any bits of non-harming care, kindness in your own practice, in your actions, in your life, and to enjoy them, to commit to them, and enjoy and notice the effects on your practice. So your assignment, should you choose to accept it for tomorrow, is to notice these moments in your daily life, in your quiet moments, and reflect on them. See what effect they have for you. Thank you very much for your kind attention.